Once Human is getting a brand new update. We also gotta go over the recent patches, what's happening behind the scenes. We'll cover some of the latest controversies around the community, what's going on with the Steam charts as well as the player count overall. Additionally, we have some brand new PSAs and very important information that you should know, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up, world? It should be back in another video. Today we're checking out all things Once Human. Okay, so jumping right into it, let's get into the recent patch notes and then we'll cover the new update. First up here, we have the October 9th patch for 1.2. Now again, this has to do with 1.2. It's not the 1.2 version, it's just a 1.2 bug fixes. We have a bunch listed here, but in the condensed version, they had fixes for invitations, blueprints, underwater attacks, NPC visibility with the Northern Tour. We also had faction select fixes, or even the faction selection, where I actually had this bug and did feature it on my channel, where the faction selection screen would not appear during the Prison vs. Clash tutorial. This actually prevented me from joining or playing on the factions for 2 days. Now the way I fixed this was essentially put down a camp and I boiled some water to level 2, went through the menus and then clicked on the hive icon, which allowed me to get the prompt to pop back up. So if you do experience that bug again, that should be how, but they do claim it is fixed. They also had a fix here where you weren't able to join the Prison Clash scenario. So just bugs all around even to get into that scenario and play. They also fixed an issue with vehicle speed for the Blue Blade, and even an issue with duplicate name. Not sure what the solution there is, if they had people rename or if they're just duplicates. However, it does seem like players were able to use the rename card to have duplicate names, and again, not sure if those are staying right now, if they make people rename, but that was an issue there with that. They also restored the missing icon for the Prime War and the Workshop, as well as corrected Ancient One's event scores. They fixed season settlement access and the cross-season space-time backpack issue. Last up here, they optimized the energy bar in Prison vs. Clash. I've had some issues there with it. In fact, it doesn't even tell me when they reset or when those deviations are reset. Hopefully they do fix that eventually. For the upcoming fixes, we have the MG turret reload and the cooking effects stacking that has been happening. Essentially, you can currently, in some circumstances or in rare cases, indefinitely stack materials or even the food stacked effects. This will be fixed on October 17th, but that does seem like quite the major exploit right now. Now, they do have some issues for Prison vs. Clash detailed here. I also did have a meeting. I'm not really allowed to go over exactly what happened in it, but I can say I did have a meeting with the community managers. There is some discussion there, and it might even be in this issue list. The first issue, when a prism deviation drops near the edge of a safe zone, the deviation's orb might enter the safe zone, making it impossible to capture. They're going to make some adjustments there with the orb's pathing, and now that if it enters a safe mode, it will move to the last recorded contest area coordinate. That's going to be implemented on October 17th. Issue number 2, the entrance to Dig to Hell sits on the boundary of a line or of a safe zone, preventing the prism deviation in a public crisis event from being extracted through normal means. They're going to be moving that boundary line between the safe zone and the contest area outward by approximately 50 meters, creating a clear path from the entrance to the contest area. So a little bit of adjustments there so you can actually get that deviation out without any issues. Issue number 3, the Prison Clash scenario doesn't have a PvP mod. Players currently need to switch to Evolution's call for that. They're going to be adding the PvP exclusive scenario mods, battle mods, to the Sproutlet shop in the Prison vs. Clash. So kind of weird though that they didn't have these PvP mods in the Prison vs. Clash, but only the regular PvP mode. Issue number 4, some players are exploiting bugs to place buildings under waters and achieve invulnerable purification. They're going to be making adjustments to that where they can no longer be placed in securement units underwater. In addition, they're going to be investigating reports of players exploiting this bug. If you witness such behavior, you can report it by capturing a screenshot of the player's territory, name card, and contacting customer service. So not just by reporting in-game, you can also contact the customer support agent or the bot. That's going to be in the menu system, but it's in the top section with the headphone icon. That's where you can actually access customer support or customer service. They want you to submit it through there, not just the in-game support. Violations will be verified and penalized accordingly. Of course, for more details, you can refer to the penalty rules of the Prison vs. Clash. I'll include a link to that. So again, they're looking into a lot of this different stuff. They're looking into the new updates and issues there, which, speaking of updates, we have the update announcement. We're going to be getting live maintenance on October 10th. Now this starting on October 10th, they don't say the exact time, but this will be available on October 11th at 10 a.m. local time. I do believe this is their local time. Typically, the updates go live around 2 to 3, 4 a.m. CST, EST, around that area. It's probably going to start at like 11 p.m. CST, which would be that October 10th, and then carry into the night around 3 a.m., 4 a.m. EST, CST. Now, first up for the agenda here, they have a brand new Lightforge loot crate called Cloud Command. where that's going to be replacing the Freezing Mist, which will no longer be available after 6 on October 10th. They're also going to be bringing in a rare fashion set called Sunset Brew that will become available after the patch update, and you'll get the Autumn Brew for free. There will also be new cosmetics available, which include the Bear Adventure Cat Epic, a rare paint, and more. Now last up here, they do cover optimizations. They said in response to player feedback regarding the frequent and uncontrollable melee executions during the disruption flow of combat, they have made an adjustment. Executions will now be triggered manually. When an enemy meets the execution conditions, you can press the F key to perform a melee execution. This will give you further control and flexibility in combat, mostly for PvE stuff there. However, one thing they don't address here, I know the big elephant in the room now, is optimizations as far as server lag and latency. That's been a major discussion within the community itself. What's going on there? Are they going to fix the lag and optimizations? What I can say is there's been talks everywhere on the forum, discords, everything there. Lag has always been the #1 discussion. I'm not really sure why they haven't addressed this yet. I am hoping that they will sometime. Now, for one thing there is a version 1.3 dev stream that's happening at 6 p.m. PDT, which would be 8 p.m. CST and 9 p.m. EST. It's happening tomorrow, or depending on when you're watching this video, October 10th. So it's going to be a brand new dev live stream. I'm hoping they address everything there. That's going to be for version 1.3. Again, we're not too sure what they're going to discuss, but I will go over details on that sometime tomorrow. So I'll cover the highlights from that tomorrow night. I'll post up a video about that developer live stream. So if you're not able to make it or even check out the developer live stream, then you can check out that there. I'll include a link to it down below in the description, but hopefully they do address the lag or at least some other concerns there. Although, as we have this thread point out here, Once Human does turn 3 months today, and it continues to break 70k concurrent players on Steam. Now, this is with people also playing on the loading bay or playing through loading bay, which I do play currently. In fact, that's the only way that I play is through loading bay. However, it has dropped substantially. It was maintaining about 100k, or at least over 100k during all the PvE scenarios. As soon as we did hit the recent PvP scenario, it did drop off. I'm guessing once we get the Way of Winter or the new PvE scenario, we'll pick back up. But I do think that if they don't figure out the lag situation, we might not be seeing these numbers for much longer. Obviously, I hope so, because I want Once Human to be successful, but they really do need to sort out the lag and the other situations there with that optimization. Moving on to our last minute mentionables pertaining with the community. First up here, we have some important information, and this is a really big PSA. It said that you should make room in your Eternal Land backpack, as it will get filled and it will essentially delete items that didn't make it. I have this right now with my deviations. In fact, it says that I need to make room. It gives me a little warning at the bottom. So make sure you are manually deleting and discarding stuff, as you're not going to be able to keep continuously carrying things over. It will eventually get filled. So make sure you are deleting stuff, especially for deviations. Materials, probably not so much. You're probably not going to be transferring that stuff. But for your deviations, especially those of you who have shiny deviations, make sure you are making room, as those will not carry over. Last up here, we do have a new tool that will help you compare weapons and armor, and it has all the stats in one place. This person has made a website here, again, comparing everything. It's a free and easy tool that you can use. So let you compare and contrast different things like range, mobility, mag size. And for armor, capture capacity, PSI intensity, HP, pollution resistance, and even durability. Everything here for you to make your builds right, or trying to figure out what different statistics matter. This is super useful, and this was done by Neox over on the subreddit. So shout out to him for this website, as that is really cool overall. But as always, that should about cover for today's video. If you like and subscribe, and into the next one. Deuces.